Hey there, welcome back. In this video, we're going to explore the invisible and important automated decision systems. These are tools that use algorithms and data to make decisions that impact real lives in fields like healthcare, employment, education, housing, criminal justice, and many more. The important part of this is that most of us don't even know when these systems are at play. I'm going to break down how these systems work. So an automated decision system is told a goal, for example, find people who are likely to repay a loan. Then it has a set of past data. So it pulls from historical records, which we know often include bias. Then it predicts outcomes. So using that data to calculate who is low risk, and finally makes a decision, approve or deny the loan automatically. So this is what we call an automated decision system, and it's everywhere. The problem is that these systems don't just automate decisions, they automate assumptions. Who is worthy? Who deserves help? And who gets left behind? One powerful example is from years ago, but it's the case study of Tammy Dobbs, who was a woman with cerebral palsy living in Arkansas. For years, she received consistent home health care support through the state. But then an algorithmic system suddenly reduced her care hours by half. Without explanation and with no clear way for her to appeal the decision, since nobody actually knew how that decision was made, since it was made by an algorithm. In this case, it took a lawsuit and national attention to reverse this. The algorithmic system never met Tammy as a person. It never saw her daily challenges. It just looked at data, made assumptions, and moved on. And that's where we can begin to reveal the harms that can happen when we remove humans from human decisions. There are many, many more examples of this. So job applications. Resumes are filtered by AI tools before a human ever sees them. These systems can then discard qualified applicants based on keyword mismatches. An example I love to tell here of where this famously went wrong was that at a particular company, many of their employees played lacrosse. And so the algorithm or AI decision system decided that a good way to determine who was suitable to hire was whether or not they mentioned lacrosse on their job application. It's kind of a trivial one, but it reveals how silly the outcomes can be. Another example is college admissions. So tools may favor students from schools that previously sent high performers because that's what the data would show. And that might leave out talented students from underrepresented schools. We also see this with criminal justice and predictive policing. So risk assessment algorithms are used to determine bail or sentencing or who should be eligible for parole. But again, these are shown to reinforce historical biases because they're trained on historical data. The common bottom line in all these examples is that the data is from the past. And we know our past has not always been just. And so if we want to create a new and different future, we cannot allow automated decision systems to make decisions based on who humanity used to be. Author Kathy O'Neill calls these systems weapons of math destruction. Get it? Instead of mass destruction, math destruction. They are 1, opaque. You can't really see inside the system. You don't know why certain decisions are being made the way they are. 2, scalable. They impact huge numbers of people. And 3, they have no accountability. So there's no human involved to appeal to if you feel a decision was unjust. And so the issue is not just the math, it's the assumptions behind the math. If we feed biased, unjust data into a system, we will get biased outcomes, which are then implemented at scale. We can do things about this, and this is where our own wisdom matters. These automated systems can be helpful. They can increase efficiency, reduce paperwork, and support good decisions. There are examples of them doing radiology and looking at oncology reports and actually having higher levels of discernment than humans in some cases. So they can be helpful, but only if we stay awake. We cannot rely on machines to reflect the future that we want for ourselves, for our children, for our children's children, unless we are conscious about what we feed these machines and what outcomes we demand from them. And you don't have to be a data scientist to understand this. If we are going to live in a world where machines are shaping our lives, we must ask better questions about data, about our own biases, and about humanity. And we are all part of this shift. It begins with what you're already doing, noticing, questioning, choosing differently. We all work together to build a future where technology supports our values instead of outsourcing them. In the next video, we'll take a closer look at how this plays out in perceived social polarization and what that means for our communities, connections, and relationships. You're doing great. Let's keep going.